Hi, I'm Sherry Harlan, host of Reid Beside You, and today we welcome Shara Short and Miracle Baker. And Shara is Volunteer Services Manager at Reid Health, and Miracle is our Retail Manager of the Ginkgo Boutique. And welcome. And actually, so our audience knows, and how long have you been with Reid Health? For both of you.
I have been with Reid. In September, it'll be 8 years.
Okay, and Cher, you have a Go badge,
I
and a
do.
Go badge means you've been with Reid quite some time.
Yeah, at least 25 years, but I've been with Reid for 36 years.
Okay, and what most people don't realize, the hospital couldn't exist without our lovely volunteers. Approximately how many volunteers do we have at Reid Health?
We have almost 300 volunteers, and they range in age from 14 to 97. So we have a wide range of people that help serve Reid and the community.
Wow. And when you're saying from 14 to 97, that means you might see a volunteer anywhere among the actual employees. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's correct. They are all over. Even in some of our outside facilities, besides just the main campus, we have volunteers.
And what's some of the bonuses of being a volunteer at Reid Health?
Oh, well, it gives them, they have such a great purpose. They feel like they're part of the Reid team. And
which they are.
They are, and they're a very important part of the Reid team. And with 300 people, think of what we wouldn't be able to do without all of them. But they help in various different areas, and we enjoy having them in the Ginkgo. We have them in some of our, rehab center. They help there. So they do the information desk. They man those areas, so they're a big help in all kinds of areas.
And a lot of people when they come to the hospital, stop at the Ginkgo Boutique.
Yes.
And what are some of the items that they would find in Ginkgo?
So we have a large variety of items, everything that you should find in a hospital gift shop. Like your greeting cards, your balloons, flowers, your patient care gifts, and then some of the personal hygiene items we carry, all of those things. But we kind of expand out into lots of purses, clothing. I know the top that you're wearing today is actually from the gift shop. So we carry a lot of fashion. We were actually one of the last gift shops in Richmond to carry the Willow Tree line. We carry the full line there. We have lots of, like I said, purses, jewelry, clothing. We have kids' toys. We have lots of summer fun things. We just carry things throughout the seasons, Christmas. So we're trying to be that gift shop that you don't have to just be there visiting a patient. You can come in from the outside and find something.
And one of the really unique things that I've seen lately on Facebook Live.
Yes.
Could you share with us what you have been showing from the gift shop on Facebook Live?
So a few months ago, we started doing bi-weekly Facebook Live posts. So every other Tuesday at 1 o'clock, we basically feature a new item or something we're really excited about. And we do just kind of 5 minutes or less, just a quick video on what it is, how much it is, just a quick rundown of it, and then every week we also give away a door prize. So basically, if you like and share our video, then you just have to type that you shared it. We put your name in a drawing, and then that following Friday, that Friday of that week, at 1 o'clock, we draw live our winner. So it's kind of fun. We give away sometimes credit towards the store, different purses, clothing, candles. We've given away a lot of really exciting gifts that we carry in the store, so everybody's really like that.
So for everyone to remember
Yes.
that to like and share, and you might become a winner.
Yep.
Correct? Great. Now, both of the volunteer services as well as the gift shop benefits the Reid Foundation through the auxiliary.
That's correct.
Could you share about what the auxiliary does?
Well, the auxiliary is actually, there's a board of volunteers that help with kind of control things and make decisions for the auxiliary. And they meet once a month. And just recently, they have decided what they're going to give this year as gifts to the foundation. And I have to say that Miracle, we do all kinds of fundraisers, but Miracles, the Ginkgo, really makes the majority of that. We're on track to give about $250,000 this year, and I'd have to say that probably 85% at least of that, to 90 probably, is from the Ginkgo. The rest of it's from various fundraisers that the volunteers.
And name some of those extra, the auxiliaries, what the auxiliary gives their money to. Some of the other, I know that I'm a big fan of the $6 DNS cell.
That's right, yes.
And I have friends, we wait.
Yeah, they do.
For the time for that.
Yeah, absolutely. That $6 sale is what we used to call it, and DNS is the company with that. We had that in the spring. We'll have it again in the fall.
Okay.
And they have various items. And
I want to remember that all of these events are open to the public.
Absolutely.
So when you come into the hospital, and normally there's signs at the information desk that
right.
the public is they're more than welcome to spend their money,
That's
because
right.
that helps the auxiliary.
It does. There's a percentage. Each place is a little bit different, but there's always a percentage of that comes back to the auxiliary on those sales. And we just had Dillard's. Dillard's comes, and they do. Then they'll do a gift card sale again in December. DNS will be back in October. We just started with Rise and Roll. They'll be coming in June, and they're donuts and various items. So I'm excited that that's a new fundraiser.
There's a lot of chatter about the
lots
Rise
of
and Roll
excitement out there.
benefit. I know that for a while they were delivering on Fridays, and we're really excited that they're going to be
June 21st
at Reid Health. So mark that on your calendars,
absolutely.
as well as you can get some great. They're going to have a variety of things, not only donuts, but some of their
jar items and all kinds of
jellies
things they said.
and the various items that they have.
Yeah.
Another thing that, can you share with us about the therapy dogs?
Sure. We have 14 therapy dogs. They range in size from Shih Tzus to Leonenberger, I think is how you say it, but Alvin and Arlo. Lots of people have seen Alvin and Arlo. They're our biggest dogs. If you haven't seen them, they're the size of a St. Bernard, and so we have them from all sizes. And they go to the patient's rooms. If a nurse knows that a patient would appreciate that having that visit, they guide them that direction, or we will through volunteer services. But we've also this year added those as for our employees. When we just went live with Epic in the spring, it was a very busy time for employees and kind of a stress reliever. We sent the pet therapy and dogs out to the various offices and to the various departments to visit with the employees, and we had lots of positive comments from that they really appreciated the pets coming to visit, and we always enjoy having them in our office too. Everybody has now kind of found their little pet jar that the dogs all know where their little treats are. So it's a lot of fun to have them.
That was a new way, because a lot of people were a little stressed, because anytime there's something new with our new electronic record system that our employees were training, so to have the therapy dogs right when you got a little confused, to have them go pet, and you could pet them or whatever, I'm sure that was a big bonus for our employees.
Yeah, and the pet therapy, the guides, that it's not just the dogs, they have people, the volunteers that are with them. So we have the dogs that are volunteers, but then their owners are volunteers too. And they enjoyed getting that opportunity to be out with the employees too. So they felt like they were a really important piece of that, and they were.
When we were saying that the volunteers are in different parts of the hospital, how do you determine where a person's going to be located?
Well, when there's a process that they go through. They apply just like our employees apply, and we don't take just everybody. They have to be special people to become a Reid volunteer, just like our employees are. And so they go through an application process, an interview process, and during that interview process, then we find out what their likes are and what the areas they like. And if they have pets, then a lot of times they'll come in with that purpose. And so what places we have available, then we offer those places to them. We can't always put them exactly where they want to be, but we try and fit the place with the personality. Okay. So,
and because the gift shop just has such a wide variety, how do you go about selecting what items will be in the gift shop?
It's difficult. We go to a couple shows a year. And that's where we kind of go around the country and basically find the new items and what is trending well. But we also listen to our customer and our employee and know kind of what they're looking for, what they like to see. It's kind of a hit and miss, and sometimes things are great and sometimes they're not, but you just kind of have to have an eye for it, and absolutely love choosing merchandise, especially when it sells well and goes quickly. But we basically order merchandise 6 months in advance for each season. Okay. So Christmas was ordered in January, and I'll actually be getting it this month.
Wow.
So it's always a busy time of year.
And it's exciting to see just the wide variety
Yes.
of items that you do have. I've been to some hospitals, and I think I've become spoiled that you have such a wide variety of items. And I go to another hospital if I'm on the road, and it's very limited.
Yes.
So people can get a wide variety. In addition, we also have the flowers and the balloons.
Yep.
So I'm sure that you usually, especially with taking a mother baby.
Yep.
So to have those.
We have weekly floral changes. A florist brings those in for us, and then things change almost on a daily basis in the gift shop. We've constantly got things staging downstairs to bring up for the next season, or the next holiday.
And what would you like the audience to know? The biggest thing from the gift shop.
So for the gift shop, I think the biggest thing that we want our audience to know is that 100%, so every penny of profit that the gift shop makes, we take and we donate back to the foundation. So that money is then donated back into the hospital, which is going back to your community.
And the opportunity to volunteer, I'm sure we will have we'll get a slide together to show how to contact you that they can volunteer.
That's right. I think they have a slide but they can go to reidhealth.org and then just /volunteers, and there's they can apply online, or they can actually call our office at 765-983-3152, and we'd be glad to mail one to them also. So whatever works out better for them.
Well, it's been great speaking with you ladies, as well as all that you do and how it benefits the Reid Foundation. And I want to thank Shara and Miracle for joining us today on Reid Beside You. And we will continue when we have our guest from the Reid Foundation.
Life can sometimes be chaotic. And with small children, it can be difficult to get to the doctor.
Hi, Mrs. Towns. How are you doing?
I have a sick little boy right here. I think he might have an ear infection.
With Reid Health Now virtual visits, you don't even need to leave your home.
I'll send in a prescription for him.
Quick, easy, convenient.
I don't want to take the kids out today.
Oh, hey, Doc.
Reid Health, right beside you, right now.
Welcome back to Reid Beside You. And our next guests are from the Reid Foundation. We have Justin Burkhart and Sarah Wise. Welcome
Thanks
to
for
Reid
having
Beside
us.
You. And how long have you both been with Reid Health?
I have been at Reid for about 4 years now.
Okay, and Sarah?
This upcoming January will actually be my 5-year
Well,
anniversary.
congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
And probably the biggest thing we're thinking of when we hear of the Reid Foundation in the summertime is Reid Ride. So this year is your 10th year?
This is our 10-year anniversary,
Okay.
and everything has changed. The route is different this year. There's a little bit of road construction this year.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. So this year, instead of going through the city of Richmond and into Centerville, we're actually spending a lot of our time on the Cardinal Greenway and going north.
Okay.
So we're excited about that.
Are your riders excited, or are you informed? Have they been informed?
Yeah, so the route is up on the website at reidride.org, and I think it's going to be a really good route. It's going to be 25 miles this year instead of 22 that they're used to.
Okay. And so what happens with Reid Ride? There's so many people involved in putting this together. So Sarah's being the communication and events person. Do you help coordinate a lot of that?
Yeah, so actually we just sent out our first email for volunteers last week, I believe it was. Between the volunteers that we get from the hospital, and we have community members that volunteer, and then a lot of our city and county police force help us out. I think it ends up being about roughly 150 volunteers. So it's just a lot to make sure that everybody stays safe and has a great time.
And along with those community groups, can you share some of the various groups and what they do along the ride?
So the United Way of Whitewater Valley and the Boys and Girls Club both come out and help us. We have Boy Scout groups that come out after the event and pick up water bottles, but United Way and Boys and Girls Club are actually on the route. They like to make signs and kind of cheer our riders on and help them out if they need, a bottle of water throughout the ride.
So that's always exciting. And then you have corporate volunteers as well from other organizations?
Yeah, we have corporate volunteers, and then a lot of them also put together groups of riders. So they, make it kind of a fun business event where they're coming out, and having fun instead of working together.
Approximately how many riders are there? I know it's grown, so how many riders do you normally have?
Yeah, so I think on average, we'll see about 650 riders, and it's up and down based on the weather that summer. But I think we're fully expecting 600-700 riders this year, and hopefully there's no storm and clear skies. So,
as a lot of people might remember, last year we had a terrible storm that we had to cancel Reid Ride. And then it became a sunny day after everything was canceled.
Well, that's the way it always happens. But it's safety first, and
Absolutely.
we cannot send riders if it's not completely safe. So we pride ourselves on safety in our ride.
And the money that is raised from Reid Ride, tell us about Shoes for Kids.
So it's a really great program, and even though we're 10 years in, we find that there's still a lot of people that don't know where the money from Reid Ride goes, but it does go to our Shoes for Kids program, which provides children in our service area that are in need a new pair of shoes. We actually have a great partnership with Saucony Foundation, and so they provide us shoes at cost. Last year, I believe we had 3 or 4 distributions, Eaton, Connorsville, and here in Richmond, where we were able to reach these kids and to just get to see their face light up when they get that new pair.
And I've had the opportunity, I've actually worked on each side, and I formerly worked in a school, and we were measuring children's shoes or their feet so they could get new shoes, and it was just so exciting. And there were some children that couldn't get to the actual distribution point, but the smile on their faces when the shoes arrived, and they were so excited, and that encouraged me that before I even worked at Reid, I wanted to volunteer at Reid Ride because you're just doing such a benefit for the children that didn't have shoes. So
Absolutely, yeah. Last year was one of the first years that I was over in Eaton and got to help out, and had a little boy that came up and was just all excited, jumping around and everything. And as soon as he got his new shoes on, he was like, "Oh, I bet I can run really fast now." And so, I had to start my stopwatch so that he could, show me how quick he was in his new shoes. And it's just great to see that. Yes, Reid Ride is an early morning, and we're out there at 5:30 with our headlamps on, but it is absolutely worth it.
Absolutely. And when you're determining, you work with the schools, or I know you work a lot with communities and schools as we're trying to locally, when you're doing the distribution as well?
Yeah, so different organizations, we're always willing to try new organizations. We partner with people over, like I said, or like Sarah said, over in Eaton, Ohio. And it's really, I think when people think hospital, they think Richmond, Indiana, but we're a big service area. So we do shoe distributions in other service areas too. So we're always open to trying, because the point is that we get these shoes on kids' feet. So we want big impact.
And when people would need shoes, or if it was an organization, do they contact you directly to work with you? Is that an option?
Yeah, they can. You know, and again, you know, we raise the money, and 100% of the proceeds go towards buying these shoes. And Saucony Foundation, along with local organization BSN, helps us get these really good cost. And so we just, if there's a need, we want to be there.
The another thing, as you've gotten to the shoes, but the foundation has so many more things that they offer. And can you share what some of the other things that the foundation does?
Yeah, so we have over 40 funds in our foundation. I think when people think of the Reid Foundation, they think of Reid Ride, they think of our Bravo free mammogram program. But we do a lot of other things, and we don't pay to keep the lights on. We don't pay to heat the buildings, but it's the above and beyond stuff. If we can purchase new equipment to make our hospital have cutting edge equipment, not just here, but at outer line places too, we're very interested in that. And I think there's a common misconception that we sponsor external things. The foundation solely benefits Reid Health. So, and that could answer a lot of questions.
And I'd like to clarify that, because the community outreach person, I often get questions, can the foundation provide that? And I always have to explain the foundation is for internal Reid projects. The difference is we do have an arm that gives back in the community, and that is community benefit.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people get confused, and we just want to make sure that people understand that when we assist various organizations, we have a grant cycle and that is given through our community needs assessment. So that is completely different than what you would find from the foundation. And often you actually have a website just for the Reid Foundation?
ReidHealthFoundation.org, and there's a lot more information there as far as our grants. Our event calendar is there as well. You can get to know the staff and just a little bit of our history.
And on there, they have so many interesting stories. One of the things, one of our community outreach programs is when we have our Medical Monday, and we just recently had the Rock Steady Boxing, and I know that is funded through the foundation, correct?
Yeah, so Rock Steady Boxing is an incredible program led by Brian Steele. And it's been going on quite a while now, but the proceeds from the Pros Players for Parkinson's event goes to support our Rock Steady Boxing program. And this was all inspired several years ago by local pro Doug Kuntz from the Elks Club.
Okay. And you can almost tell what is coming up in the calendar year just by all the different things that you have to offer. So we know if it's summer, it's Reid Ride. And then we ramp up again more for Bravo. And more in the winter, Red Dress Ball. And did you have a particular story you'd like to share from probably what's your biggest accomplishment, you would say?
That's a good question.
Executing.
Yeah, that's, I would turn it to Sarah and say that, our events tell a great story. And we try to highlight someone who's been fighting breast cancer in Bravo, or all the AEDs that we purchase because of Red Dress Ball. And there's so many great stories that we hear all the time. And, again, there's more information at ReidHealthFoundation.org. So.
Right. So the other thing, another way that you share your story is through the mission report.
Yeah, so we actually have one that should be coming out kind of mid-June, maybe early
Now,
July.
let me explain that. The mission report is their magazine.
Yes, yes. And kind of like Justin talked about grants, we have a very exciting story in there about Austin McNew, the Northeastern football player who was in the sledding accident. It wasn't this last grant cycle, but maybe the one before that. His mother had reached out to Rehab Services. She had done some investigation into a machine that could help him progress further than he was with what we currently had, and she found a machine called a FES machine. Rehab Services came to us and said, is this something that you can help us with? And we were able to purchase that, and so it's helping Austin and other patients that we have. But she kind of was the driving force behind that. It has an electrical stimulation that can help with stroke patients and people like Austin to kind of try and regain some of that movement and hopefully, increase their recovery. But that story is in Mission Report, and we also have a list of our donors, memorials, honorariums, and if you've come to the event, you may just catch yourself in one of the pictures in there. So.
And when you're touching on the memorials, then we see that a lot when someone has passed away. And if someone wants to honor their memory, they can donate to their foundation.
Absolutely. If they have a certain fund that maybe meant more to them than something else, I know a few months ago we had a lady who really loved animals, and so her contributions actually went to the therapy dog program.
Of course.
Yes. So, if they make donations there, they're going to go to wherever that person's passion was.
And then if a person who passed away had a certain passion, they have an option to create. Could they create a fund or just to target a certain area?
Yeah, we can absolutely help direct them to that. But, I think in this day and age when we have a lot of stuff, making a financial contribution in someone's honor and memory is a very nice gesture.
Okay. Well, we want to thank both Sarah and Justin
thanks for having us.
joining us today. And thank you for watching Reid Beside You.